Can you watch yourself? Are you
Absolutely.
How refreshing.
As much as possible. My God, I'm on a loop in my house. Even on the bathroom and the toilet. No. On the bathroom and the toilet, on the TV in the toilet. I don't even have a TV in the toilet. You can tell because I can't even say that.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
I'm very
fantastic.
comfortable watching myself.
That's
I
great.
like watching my work back for numerous reasons. Particularly on Blackish and stuff. Being able to see how something's being shot, what's being covered, what's working, what isn't working. I'm very vain, but I'm not very critical of, particularly with acting. Like I like when my face does weird things. When I watched Candy Cane Lane, my response was, "Oh, great. My wig didn't look wiggy, and boy, do I make stupid facial expressions." I mean, the camera cuts to me and I'm like, what the fuck? My face is like, I love how stupid my face is.
You know what's so funny? It feels to me like
I just love that it does dumb things. And I'm not, because, you look at some actresses sometimes and the camera comes back to them and they're like, and you're like, what is that? What is that? Are you putting mascara on?
Are you embalmed?
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting because I wonder if growing up with such an iconic mom in music and singer, and I mean, it's just, and in movies, if you knew early on, I can be really funny in a way that sets me apart. It's my thing. Does that make sense?
In one sense, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't a conscious sort of shift. But like when I was 22, my mom said to me, "It's time for you to record an album," because I sang all through growing up. And I was like, no way. Like it felt too scary. I don't know that I consciously went towards being funny, but my dad, my personality is like his. He's hilarious. And I loved Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball growing up.
Yep.
And I felt a real kinship with that kind of screwballness and the ability to kind of not care what you look like, which is, I think, because I've never done stand-up, although I really want to. But the ability to kind of have that freedom in your body.
Yes.
But it definitely has been my path, I mean, my name is Joy. My middle name is Joy. I wonder if it's I just came out kind of bubbly.
Right.
But I don't know. It's such an interesting thing. I think I grew up always wanting to be a woman in a sparkly dress on a stage. And I got...
Me too.
Right? How's that going?
Wrist treatments. It's more expensive than I thought.
It's like skiing.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because one of the things you said that I can relate to is one of the things that I've always loved about comedy is there's no vanity. Like I never think about how... I'll admit there are some times lately with high def cameras and as I age where I'm like, oh my God, couldn't someone have told me that half my face rotted off before we shot that thing? But mostly, couldn't they have done some taped that up a little bit before I went out there?
Or put some Vaseline on the screen,
Yeah, exactly.
on the lens?
But mostly, I know that if people like what I'm doing, it's not because they want to break off a chunk of that. They're just, I'm sorry. That's a phrase that's going to stick.
Ride that horse.
I want to ride that horse and then break off a chunk.
Just know. I'm going to have nightmares. Okay, sorry.
Well, that's what I do for women. but I like the surrendering of vanity that goes a lot with comedy.
I love it so much.
And you reference Lucille Ball, and what people often forget and you don't think about it is, you and Lucille Ball are very beautiful women who then do comedy really well. And so there's this thing where Lucille Ball was
so
stunningly glamorous, but felt nothing about, put a prosthetic nose on and let's have it catch fire. Or let's have me crying and have my face contorted. Let's have me stuffing chocolates into my mouth as you guys recreated on the Emmys the other night. Like, this is just something that I love is the surrendering all of that. Yeah, sure, I can look amazing if I want to, but I'm doing this right now.
I think there's also for me like a sense of pure freedom where like every choice is yours. And that for me, that it's like literally from my little toe to the hairs on my head get to participate in the thing I'm doing. And I just, and I do love that there's no vanity involved. There really isn't for me. I think the uglier I look, the better I think it is. I think it's funnier when there's a selflessness to how you lean in there. That Lucy bit was, I think,
it was
felt
you,
like,
Natasha Lyonne,
so we
recreating the chocolate conveyor belt at the Emmys.
I do believe, I literally, before we went on stage, I was like, I mean, the little girl in me was jumping up and down. She was like so excited and so excited. And then they forgot the prop of the papers.
Oh.
We had it in every rehearsal. And I was trying to explain because people were like, it was so funny. I was like, but you have to understand, if you understand comedy, if you have nowhere to go and you have to start at the top, then it's not, you can't do the thing you do because there's nothing to work from.
Right.
So it was slapstick. And we went there. It was fine. I went there. I mean, I got to tell you guys, an hour later after we took the wig off and the eyelashes, I took the smock thing off. There was a piece of chocolate. It was like it had melted, so it was from up here. It was like from between my boobs down to my like the top of my underwear, and it was just mush chocolate everywhere. And then the caramel was all that was left, so it was just like a piece of caramel on my belly button. It was fantastic. I stuffed a lot of chocolate in my gown, in my little dress. It was dropping out while I was reading the presentation.
Because it has to be, yeah. There's just a trail of chocolate following you wherever you go.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Amy Sedaris, who is also, she's a very attractive person who goes out of her way and has her whole life to tape up her nose, do anything she could, wear old ladies' clothes. She was doing this when she was a kid, and it would drive her mother crazy because her mother was saying, you're an attractive young woman. What are you doing?
My mom would always say, fix your face. Why are you making all those face? Like, what did I would be telling a story and she would like touch between my eyes and be like, I'm like, I'm trying to tell a story. Sorry, Amy Sedaris.
No, it's the same. I mean, your poor mom. My mom with me, I was constantly contorting my face and doing over the top bits. And she would say, your face is going to freeze that way. It's going to freeze. It's going to freeze. And I thought, well, first of all, that would be cool. Because I could go through life like, it'd be great if
it did freeze that way.
I could work in the circus and it would just be like, I don't know, it'd be a lot of fun. I wasn't scared of my face freezing, but when I did over the top bit, she was and I think
I have two great stories
there's this on this podcast, we never get to great stories. I won't allow it.
No, I'm going to say I have one, but I'm not going to tell it. You guys, I have two great fucking stories about that.
Yeah, there's no time. Anyway, so the other day, I'm having this beef stew, and this beef stew,
it had beef in it, you guys.
It had beef in it.
It was
who knew? All right, go. Tell us these. But I mean, we're talking about contorting your faces,
and parents
freaking out.
Mom's responses. So one was, my grandmother used to say that it was Tracee had the 12-year-old, the 10-year-old giggles, the 11-year-old, and then it was just like, okay, they're not going anywhere. Yeah. And so I was just like, I'm getting out of my body, I couldn't get it out. I was like, it's dinner time. And it would drive my sister crazy. Rhonda was like, oh my God, and my mom was like, Tracee, would you like to go outside and get the giggles out? And I would be like, I would like to go outside and get the giggles out. So I would go out of the door, the sliding glass door outside dinner. My family's in there just eating dinner. And I'm out like bouncing outside the door. And I'm like, and I'd come back in and I'd be like, she'd be like, did you get him out? I'd be like, I don't know. No, I think there's more. And I'd go back out, go back. So that's one story. And the poor mom, trying to do her best. Little Dinah Ross sitting there like, oh my God, I made a problem child. So then the other is, when I moved out here to LA, my mom is Dinah Ross, just for reference on this story. I take full responsibility for her career. Anyway.
You made her.
I did. If it weren't for me, I don't know, those Supremes. Ain't no mountain high enough. What? The boss? Who knew? No one. None of it. Central Park concert? That was my idea.
That was your idea.
Anyway, So when I moved out here to LA, I had my version of no money. So I'm just going to be honest. My version of no money was like I had my mom's credit card. I was living in a beautiful apartment, but I had no cash. Okay. So I used to do things that I could do with the credit card. Like I would ask people if they wanted me to get them gas, or like at dinner, I'd be like, I'll pay, give me the cash. Like I was like an ATM, right?
Yep.
So I made a video, a DVD. At the time, it was a VHS video of me doing all my characters, because I used to tell stories as these different people. So I dressed up in all these different. There was Madame Hiver, who I still do. There was Susie Sushi. There was Broadway Girl, who was singing an improv Christmas holiday song. All this stuff, and then I old school edited it together, and I sent out 52 videos to everyone in my world, saying happy holidays. And at the end of it, it said no judgment, happy holidays. And it was me like doing a ridiculous, it was insane. I go home for Christmas and my mom's like, can we talk? And I was like, yeah, what's up? Let's go to my room. Oh shit. You know, if your mom wants to bring you to the room. So we sit down on the edge, on the side of her bed. She's sitting next to me. She was like, how many of those she was so serious. How many of those videos did you send out? I said 52. And she was like, can we get them back? I was like, what? No. I think she literally was like, this is a comment on my parenting. Like, I failed my child. And she has sent out like a calling card of like the failed parenting.
Oh my God.
She later understood, but I do think it was a little bit like, what have I done?
Like he was going to end up on Inside Edition of what is Diana Ross doing to her children?
Her children.
Yes.
Like the other ones are fine.
To do 35 characters.
Dancing for her wares.